This is the last letter. This is the last letter. This is the last letter.
Let's talk about where you've been. I know there's a long list, so tell us where in the world has Dr. Keleta-Mae been?
Okay, so in Canada
Yeah.
and the US, I've been to Mexico, Panama, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Jamaica, a layover in Peru.
Yeah.
Was that the year? But that doesn't count.
Well,
Okay,
you
that
touched.
doesn't count.
You touched.
For a brief
Yeah.
moment.
What, 3 hours maybe?
Vaguely. Brazil,
Yeah.
England, France, Italy, Switzerland, Greece, Netherlands, South Africa, Japan,
Yes. Did you say Costa Rica?
Costa Rica.
Which of those would you say you connected with the most? Can you probably take 3 out of those and say
South Africa I connected with deeply because I went with expectations, right?
Yeah.
I was going to, it's just absurd.
Yes.
And I knew that they were absurd even as I was creating the expectations. So it was a simultaneous thing of like, this is absolutely ridiculous, Naila.
Yeah.
And like, but there was a part of me that couldn't resist.
Of course.
Creating this, I was going to the motherland, right? I'm going home. Not West Africa,
No.
The people come from Jamaica,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if they're, it's most likely
West Africa, but no, you're still going to the
like
motherland.
The lowest part. Anyway.
Yeah. But you're going home.
South Africa was wonderfully challenging because it is so complex.
Yes.
It was so not an offering of some kind of mythic home,
No.
right? Which was important.
Yes.
It really pointed out to me the ways in which I was Canadian.
Yes.
Which was really important as well, and it taught me some of the ways in which I am. That while I can discuss the ways in which I'm, invested or not invested in class, that in moments of uncertainty, that I will exert my class, or a perception of class,
Yeah.
and so the way that manifested itself in South Africa were the moments in which I was. I would speak so that people would know that I was a foreigner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that
yes,
there were
yes.
other moments when I absolutely wouldn't speak so that I could blend into
yes.
as much as possible thousands of people who could care less who I was
And where you came from.
where I came from,
Yes,
right?
in
That they
history.
probably thought I just came down the street and hadn't seen me before.
Yeah.
It was also, oddly enough, a place where I was exerting this Jamaicanness.
Really?
Yeah, because I was moving through some Rastafarian communities, and so
okay.
I became, and it was interesting to see me wanting to kind of manipulate a cultural capital around the kind of Jamaicanness that I have, but don't actually have.
Really. Yeah.
Right?
I don't really live here when you're in your.
I live, but live in a very Canadian way, right? Like there's a particular kind of Canadian Caribbean. It's like a way that Caribbean culture, or I think often cultures from anywhere, once you kind of land in one place, that your culture can become reified, like and romanticized, and so I was there speaking about a mythic Jamaica, in a sense.
Yeah.
So it was, it was complicated, and it shone a light on crevices of my insides that I hadn't seen, and hadn't had to face before, and didn't always like.
Yeah. Oh,
so it was deeply informative. Japan, because I just stuck out, and that was really, I stuck out, but people weren't really looking at me.
Yeah.
But we all knew that
you were there.
Yeah. That I belonged, but that I wasn't from there.
Okay.
And that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And kind of comforting too.
How so?
There was no pretense. That the stark contrast between my external appearance and other people's external appearance made it very clear that I was from away. and we all kind of moved along.
Yes, the world
Right?
didn't stop as a result of
No,
that
because I was
difference.
kind of insignificant.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was, and no one was trying to make me significant.
yeah.
And there's a way that kind of, I think, there's a Canadian-ness. There's something in our national kind of narrative of multiculturalism where we say that we're, you know, that differences are all okay.
Yes.
And so people can want to kind of show you that your difference is okay. I have what friend.
Yes.
I
Oh,
have
my best friend's
my
a black,
niece
yeah.
is so and so. My
Yes.
so and so is married to
Yes.
so and so, or
Yes.
dating, right? Or I love this kind
Yeah.
of food, or
Yeah.
right. But there are all these kind of overtures that we make, non white people and non-white people
yeah.
too, right? As a means to say like, I recognize that you're different and it's okay.
Yes.
And I think that there's a place for that and that makes sense, but that's kind of a thing that we do. Whereas in Japan, they're like, you're not from here.
Yeah, and that's okay.
And I'm not making any overture to your difference.
Yeah.
Your difference is like, it doesn't matter. You are the minority.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not even from, like, I just, you know, there was something kind of interesting about that. Like, to be on, you know, a rush hour with thousands of people and just be like, I'm the only non-Asian or Japanese looking person here. I'm the only one.
Yes.
Yeah.
And nobody cares.
Nobody was even looking at
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
You know,
That
it was
must
kind
have
of,
been
it was
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was really kind of like
Yeah.
informative in
Yeah.
another way. So, you know, Jamaica, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
I've been going kind of all of my life, and more so in the last maybe 8 or 10 years, 8 years or so. And that is a complicated country.
Yeah.
And every time I go, I am forced to confront something, some notion of something. And it feels increasingly important for me to go and be there and learn. You know, I would go and try to be Jamaican when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like,
You're not. Stop it.
I'd go and try to be something else.
Yeah.
Try to speak patois.
Yeah.
And they were like,
It's a hybrid patois.
it is, but the thing is that but then I also realized, like the patois that I speak here amongst descendants of Jamaican culture is its own iteration. It's its own language. Like,
and it's okay.
but it is recognized as something different
there. Yes.
So it's, you know, yes, those are my
fun travel.
good travel.
And I said, this is the last letter. 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 I won't feature you in conversations with best friends again. Did I mention I'm through with you? I'm through with you.
Okay, we're staying on travel, and we want to do your favorite travel item or items.
Yes, ma'am, I've got them.
You've got them.
Something to write in.
Yeah. Okay, so a journal. Something to write in.
Something increasingly to take pictures with.
Oh, nice. That is a brilliant looking
This,
piece
yeah,
of camera.
this is a nice one. This
Yeah.
this was a
camera.
some kind of camera, whatever size or shape. And I'm getting better and better about just taking pictures. I used to only take landscape because I was nervous to take
Yeah, I was
pictures of
gonna
people.
say, do you take pictures of people?
I'm still trying to kind of navigate that, but I was on a research trip in Jamaica, a research trip that Dr. Andrea Davis at York University has coordinated. It's a massive project. It's a research collaboration between Jamaica and Canada, looking at intersections of youth, art, and violence.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, we were there, and two of the people who were there from Canada are from the Nia Art Center in Toronto, Nabil Shash and Abdi Hall. They're photographers. And those two, they were taking pictures everywhere. Like they just, like Empty had her camera out and she took pictures of everything. People, like she just was, and I just was so inspired by actually being somewhere and seeing people just relentlessly taking pictures. Like the camera was not in the case. Wow. It was always just strapped on and just ready to go. And so since then, I went to Japan after that and I was like, I'm doing it. I didn't get a lot of people, but it was the first time that I just had my camera out and was just working it.
Love it. Okay.
And a great pair.
Oh my God! Look at those.
You're not supposed to love things, but I love these. I love them.
They
You're not
look
supposed to
deadly.
love things. They're deadly. But you gotta have a fabulous pair of shoes.
Wow.
Of heels. Because they can dress up anything in your imagination. You can put anything.
Are we seeing this?
Yes.
This is serious.
You're not supposed to love things.
I love the heel.
Yeah.
Loving the heel.
Because then a little occasion can come up and you can just, you know,
Spice
and
it
they
up.
fit in a backpack.
Yeah.
You don't have to be, you just got to be able to make it fancy in a moment's notice.
Those are some serious shoes.
That's great.
But yeah,
You're not
I love
supposed to
it.
love things.
No, but if it's good, it's good.
It's good. Thank you.
What kind of traveler are you? The six suitcases or the prefer the, you know, go light?
Depends on where
luxury?
I'm going.
Okay.
Depends on where I'm going. Depends on what I'm thinking about. Depends on why I'm going. It depends on who I'm going with.
Okay.
So I've done backpack.
Yeah.
Hostels.
Yes.
Right. And I've done hotels. And I've done bed and breakfast. Or I've done staying with family or friends of friends. Right. So I've kind of have done
a bit of everything.
A bit of a lot of like a wide range of things. So it really depends on where I'm going.
Cool.
Yeah. But as long as I've got my camera.
Yeah.
And a great pair.
Then you're good to go.
Like,
I love it. Okay. Just the final thing on travel. We have a segment. We are introducing a segment called "Girl, Release Your Baggage." And so you've gone through, you know, you've gone through that journey up till now. And if you had to say to people or to someone, "Girl, release your baggage," how would you advise someone to do that? And when we talk about baggage, obviously we're talking about, you know, the emotional stuff that keeps us stuck. So how do you release your baggage?
That's tough for me because I would say my first thought is don't call yourself a girl.
Yeah, okay.
Right? We're women.
Yeah.
And I've fought hard to be women. I've written a poem about that, and that's one of the poems that has gotten me into trouble afterwards. Right? But I would say release all the stuff that suggests that you're not grown. Yeah. And that don't have, be it the word girl, be it some other way that, you know, we're operating in our lives, but anything that suggests to us that we don't have enough space to be full, complicated, quirky, arrogant, humble, just whatever kind of woman that we are and imagine ourselves to be. Right. So that that we can follow our impulse, trust our gut, and do whatever it is, you know, pursue whatever it is that we envision. Yeah.
Please help me welcome Naila. Go, girl. Find yourself a new man, or woman, or both, or no one if that's where you're at. You go, girl. Go to Saint-Tropez, Tokyo, Morro de Sao Paulo, Johannesburg, Kingston, JA. Upgrade yourself, girl. Buy stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate. Plan for your retirement. Invest your money wisely, girl. And go out with your girls on a Saturday night. Gyrate your ass. Buff floor wax if you want to, girl. 36, 27, 59. Years old. Still called girl. Still calling ourselves girl. rarely woman. Oh, you go, girl, to the grave, girl. Bonsoir, Montréal.
Release any notion that we're not complicated
Yes.
and complex, and that there isn't room for all of that,
To be
for
all.
our full expression of our humanity and of our femaleness,
Yeah.
or of our non-femaleness, or whatever that may be, but that there is space,
To fully be.
to fully be,
Yes.
unapologetically.
Well, we're done. We got through it. We're going to rewind the tape, make sure it's all there. But thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you enjoyed this.
This is the last letter. This is the last letter. This is the last letter. Won't put pen to paper again. This is the last letter. This is the last letter. This is the last letter. I promise never to feature you in conversations with best friends for hours on end again. For real. For real. This is the last letter, the one I won't deliver nor read out loud. Press to receive.